This is K. Rose Ray of K. Rose Ray Amateur Carvings. Back to the old Mr. Articulated snake and the next stage of the experiment. I put in some texturing, as I mentioned before, and then I decided to spruce it up with a little wood burning, and then, but okay, so I did that. Well, now I'm trying to do the hide the joint thingies, and this is the next part of the experiment. I don't know if it'll work. It's purely trial and error. So, this is Mr. Articulated Snake. He is in process. We are in progress, but I have taken some t-shirt material. I liked the idea of t-shirt because it was springy as opposed to cotton. Anyways, and I have glued it to the joints, around the joints, hiding the wire. And right now, everything is wet. Or if it's not wet, then it's still taped and drying. And I can't really do anything at this point except wait for this to dry so I can get to the next part to finish it. And what I'm doing, in case you're wondering how I'm gluing this, is first what I did was I cut up an old t-shirt into strips, wide enough to cover the joints. And then I got ye old Gorilla wood glue, and I took a paintbrush and I paintbrushed the wood glue around the edges of the outside edges of the joints because I didn't want to break the articulation. Okay, so I put the glue along the outside edges, and then I wrapped the cloth around it, and then I taped it to dry. And then, while it was okay, so it's drying over here. This side is already dried, and I decided to take a to make it all one consistency and kind of like strengthen the bond, the gluing bond. I used a diluted mixture of water and Gorilla Glue and impermeated the cloth with the glue water mixture in the goal to strengthen the seal of the material to the wood and to each other, to the cloth itself. Don't know if it'll work. That's the theory anyway. This is part 3 of the articulated snake. It's going to be really short this time. But I wanted to thank everyone for watching and putting up with my fun here. I don't know if anyone will ever view these other than the few people that I share it with. But if you do, it's me. I am totally self-taught, and I love playing with ideas, a different way of doing things. And I always have some kind of a project at hand. And I know I'm going to go over. I can't help it because I mentioned the boar for the coat rack that I'm making. You know, I mentioned that I made a raccoon and a squirrel and blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, and then I said the grand finale was going to be the boar. I can't wait. I got to share it. I have to kind of put him together. Oh, he is together. Okay. He's together, but he's not screwed tightly. He's just loosely screwed. But he's not done. He's a working project, see? I got one ear kind of, and I don't want to do anything real sharp edged because of people hanging their stuff on there. I don't want it to get caught. So the sharpest things I have are the tusks. I don't know if you could see the tusks. But what I've done is I took a piece of, what was it, 8 by 10, I think it was, and I just chopped it down to different sizes. Anyways, and then I cut out the shape of the boar's head, okay? And then I put a dowel a two-sided open dowel where I'm going to put the snoot. But a boar snoot goes out this way, and I've only got little flat pieces of wood. So I had to create a way to make that sneak out, you know? So to do that, I took a piece of other wood. This is a pine or some such thing. And I made the beginning of the snoot against the face. And then I created a hole here to put the upper part of the snoot in. The reason I did that is if a coat is hanging on it, I wanted to have some extra strength of a surrounding structure. The tusks are each individually carved separately and screwed in with little screws. I don't know if you can see the screws. Yeah, there you go. They're screwed in. I eventually will cover them with some kind of a putty and then paint over them. And then I see his little nostrils. I'm so proud of those little nostrils. I worked so hard for those. Okay, and anyway, so let me put on his face here. Okay, that screws on like that. And then here's his lower jaw. Now I did this one a little bit differently because I didn't anticipate it bearing any weight. Again, the tusks are separately carved and screwed in. There's a dowel, to open face dowel, and it goes right. Okay, and it goes right there. And there he is. I'm not done. I still have this ear to do, and this half of the face, and then a whole bunch of adjustments. But there's this profile. So, you know, it's not totally flat, you know. This ear is going to go back some, so it's more like this. Let's go this way. See, so there's a little curvature to a skull here, you know. And it's going to kind of, it's not a total flat board is what I'm trying to say. Alrighty, well, that's all that I have for today. Thank you for your time. Ta-ta.